here, and today I'm wearing my martial arts uniform. I'm going to post a picture of it so you guys can see the whole thing. But basically, as some of you may know or not know, I do martial arts. More specifically, I do Kuk-Sool-Won, which is a traditional Korean martial arts. And so I spend from about 10 to 15 hours a week doing martial arts. And I've learned a lot about myself and who I am and what martial arts is. And I've learned a lot of life lessons from martial arts. And some of these life lessons, they pertain a lot to acting and the acting industry and acting career. So I thought I would share with you guys 7 things that martial arts has taught me about acting. This is kind of to celebrate my competition. So the reason I have been posting on YouTube so much is because I've been preparing for the World Tournament for Kuk-Sool-Won, where hundreds of Kuk-Sool-Won practitioners from around the world come to compete in Texas, in Houston, Texas. And the schools compete for the top school, and then each student competes to be the top in the world. And any medals that you get here really is amazing. And this was an especially hard year because it was my first year competing as a black belt, and as a black belt I've been competing against people who have been a black belt for 4 years, and this is my first year as a black belt, and I did really well. My brother, this is his first year as well, he got grand champion, which means he beat everyone in his division and he got the most points because each medal is a point. So he got 4 golds and 1 silver, and that got him grand champion. So I've been doing a lot of martial arts lately. I've been learning a lot of stuff, and so I figured I'm going to share some of this with you guys so you guys can see how martial arts pertains to acting, and also to give you guys a glimpse into my martial arts world, because I spend a lot of time working on my martial arts because this is part of me now. I've been doing this for about 6 years. My school is a very special school, so I wanted to share with you guys some of the things that I learned. So without further ado, let's get started. First thing that martial arts has taught me about acting is that the ones who practice the most get ahead. And first of all, a couple of things. It's not just practice. As my martial arts instructor says, it's perfect practice, because you could practice for 5 hours. But if you don't practice your best, you're not really going to improve as much as someone who practices their best for maybe even just an hour. Practicing is really how you improve, and self-study is how you can get better on your own. So not just waiting for a class or waiting for an audition before you practice your acting skill, but also practicing throughout the entire year. For example, in my martial arts competition, I've been doing 10 to 15 hours for almost an entire year, not just for my competition coming up. If I hadn't been practicing for a year, I wouldn't have done as well. And it's the same thing with acting. You have to work on your acting training and your skill level and your audition skills and your pole reading skills and your voice and your body even before you have an audition, because each audition is a summation of all the training that you've done before. It's the same thing with each competition. Each competition that you go to is just a summation of all the training put together that you've done. It's kind of like an average of all the training that you've done. The second thing that martial arts has taught me is that you can only really succeed in something if you really, really love it. And by success, I don't mean fame or tons of money. I just mean general happiness or fulfillment. The people I've seen who've succeeded the most in martial arts and who get the most ahead and who really are happy are the people who love it, who go home on their own and practice, who have always wanted to do this, who make this their goal and their dream. If you just love a small part of acting but you hate the rest of it, you're not really gonna succeed too well. You have to kind of like the whole package. So really determine to see if you really, really like acting and if you really want this to be your career, because it's a lot of hard work, and if you don't love what you're doing, you're gonna be miserable, or at least you're not going to be as happy as you really could be, if you're not living up to your potential. And that's not to say you can't do it on the side, or you can't do martial arts on the side even if you don't love it with all your heart. Honestly, it just kind of makes sense. The people who I've seen who really, really make it are the people who love it. Number 3, I've learned that if you really, really, really want something, you can achieve it. You just have to put your mind to it and work as hard as you can. In the end, it's up to you what you want to be. It's not up to someone else. You can't blame anyone else, and it's not anyone else's fault. Whatever happens in a competition, you can't control the other people, but you can control what you do. For example, in some competitions, there will always be judges that are unfair, and so you can't control who gets first or who gets second, but you can control if your form or if your skill level was first place level, because if it is, eventually you will get the recognition for the skill that you have. You will eventually start seeing results. If you want something, you can't just settle for the least that can happen or the least you can do. You have to dream big and then work hard at it. By this I don't mean fame, because fame isn't a goal. Fame is something that is untangible. So fame isn't something that you can calculate or you can control. It's completely out of your control. But in a role, you can't always control what roles you get cast in. You can kind of control how your audition goes or how well you do. And each audition is a culmination of your previous work. So if you work hard at every audition and at every class you go to, eventually you will start getting the results that you want. You can control yourself and make yourself the best that you can be. And when you start doing that, then you'll start seeing the results. But first, you have to work on yourself. Number 4, don't compare yourself to others. And this is a trap that I get caught in a lot. Comparing myself to people who can kick higher than me, who can punch faster, perform better, but it's really not about the other people. Competition is the same way. It's really not about the other person. It's really competing against yourself. So don't compare yourself to other people at all. And it's one of the easiest traps that you can fall into as an actress, as a martial artist, and just in general. It's so easy to say, oh, well, this person has this and I don't have this. And this person can do this and I don't have this. And you can get so caught up in what other people have or don't have. It can really just mess up your whole perspective on what you're doing and kind of just cloud what you're doing and make you begin to not enjoy it anymore, because there will always be someone who is more talented. Those are the people that you're going to have to live with. Yourself is who you live with every day. So when you're working, don't compare your work to the work of others. Compare yourself to yourself. Is this the best that I did, that I can do? Can I say that I am proud of this work that I did? Can you respect yourself after doing this? And can you be happy with this and say, this is who I am, and be confident in yourself? And that's very hard for me, honestly, and I know it can be hard for a lot of people. They may be better than you and they may be more talented than you, but it really doesn't matter in the end. What matters is yourself, and did you do the best that you can do? Did you work your hardest? Did you try your best? Because if you did, then the results will begin to show. Number 5, you can meet amazing people doing what you love. My martial arts school, I have met the most amazing people. There's all sorts of people there. My 2 instructors, they're some of the most inspiring, amazing people that I know. Just very special. And a lot of the people there are so inspiring. They're so hardworking and smart and dedicated. They've really inspired me to do things that I never thought I could do. When you go and you do what you love, you can find the best people in the world, and some of these people will be your friends for life. The last movie I was in, I met a friend and we talk all the time now. I've done the Bible Bee for 6 years and I met like the awesomest people. And these are all things that I love to do, and these people are just so amazing, like literally. So wherever you go, there are amazing people, they're bad people, and they're amazing people. But if you do what you love, you're gonna make lifelong friends, and those friends are the best kinds of friends because they love what you do and they're like you. Number 6 is kind of hard one to say, but you can work as hard as you can and put in as much time and effort as you can and still not get the exact results that you want. And I know this kind of contradicts what I was saying before, but it's still true. I was going for Grand Champion, and I really worked really hard this year to make myself better and to compete well and to really get, I guess, straight gold. And I didn't. I did pretty well, but I still didn't do as well as I could. It's just what it is, and it's the same thing with an audition. You can work as hard as you want in an audition, and they could choose someone because she has green eyes. And it's just life, and especially when you're doing something that involves other people, some things are just out of your control and you can't do anything about it. But those are the times where you cannot give up, because each failure and each thing that you don't get is a lesson learned and is a way to make you better. Each of these things will shape you and they will make you better, and they can help you in your next step and in your next journey. Sometimes things just don't work out the way that you planned. If you did awesome this time, you can do even better the next time. So just keep that in mind. Hollywood and acting is very discouraging. Sometimes, you know, I work really hard and they'll say, well, we didn't want you this year, or we'll call you, stuff like that, and you just can't let it get you down. This point kind of leads me to my last point, which is acting is sort of like a competition, and really all what a competition is you are being scored by someone else's opinion, and it's the exact same thing with acting. For each audition, you are being chosen and getting callbacks based on some person's opinion. In a competition, it's really all about opinions. You know, one judge could be looking for something, and if you go to the next ring over, another judge was looking for something else. Some judges are looking for spirit, loud and powerful and energetic. Some other judges are looking for low and precise. Some judges are looking for fast, and it's the exact same thing with acting. It's really all about opinion. What I was trying to explain to one of my friends was, you know, yes, you got this medal, but if you know that you did a first place job and you got a third place medal, it really is just an opinion. It's not like math or science where 1 + 1 = 2. Judges are judging you and they're taking off points based off of what they think is good or what they don't think is good. So you can't really judge yourself off of a competition. A competition or an audition is only one aspect of who you are. There's tons of other parts of you. You have to assess yourself with the whole picture, not just one audition, not just one competition. And that is a very important lesson, and I hope you guys will learn this, because especially in the acting world, it's really all about opinion. You might be called in because this producer really liked you and he met you off the street and he really liked, I don't know, something about you. And it's the same thing in life. You know, some people will like you and some people won't like you. You can't say, well, I did a good job at this audition, so I should get a call back. You could do the best job in an audition and not get a call back. So be prepared. I have a thing that I always like to say, which is hope for the best but expect the worst. And I try to keep that in mind at all of my competitions and auditions. You really want the best thing to happen, but honestly, realistically, you just don't know. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see some of my martial arts stuff, you should click over here to see the highlights of the Kuksulwan World Tournament competition. So you guys can watch that and see basically a little bit of what Kuksulwan is and what they do. The beginning of the video has my instructor's demo, and she does it with one of my other instructors, and so that is super awesome. You should check that out. And then after that, you can see my brother getting grand champion, and you can see some people from our schools getting grand champion. And if you like, in the end, you'll see like a short clip of me practicing staff before my competition. So you guys should definitely go check that out and tell me what you think. And if you have any questions about martial arts or what Kuksulwan is, just leave me a comment below and I'll be happy to tell you about it. I hope you guys really liked this video. Alright, I will see you guys in my next video.